Hello and welcome to the 51st episode of Jazzology presented by Savage Content. I'm your host, Willard Jenkins. We're here alternating Fridays, giving two jazz fans the opportunity to compete against each other for a chance to win $100. Each contestant will be asked a question worth 2 points. If they're unable to answer correctly, their opponent will have a chance to steal the question for 1 point. We'll ask 10 questions, and at the end of the 10 questions, the person with the lowest score will get a bonus question for the opportunity to tie the score, no matter how far they're behind in the score. If they're successful, the game will go to sudden death. The person in the lead at the end of regulation will go first, and each contestant will take turns trying to answer the sudden death multiple choice question until we have a winner. And now let's meet this week's contestants. Our reigning Jazzology champion is Brad Farberman, who is a musician and writer based in Brooklyn, New York. And Brad has recorded for the Rope-A-Dope label and written for the New York Times, The Village Voice, Billboard, and National Public Radio. Brad is also the jazz curator at TIDAL. Our challenger for this 51st episode of Jazzology is a returning challenger, and he is Jason Marshall. Jason is a baritone saxophonist who has performed with the late, great Roy Hargrove and the Mingus Big Band, among others. And Jason's most recent record release is titled New Beginnings. All right, you guys ready?
Ready.
All right, well, let's get to today's Jazzology, and as our reigning champion, Brad Farberman goes first. Brad, who wrote the tune Tempus Fugit, which essentially means time flies? Would that have been A, Bud Powell, B, Max Roach, C, Charlie Parker, D, Thelonious Monk, or E, Milt Jackson?
Okay, so these are all wonderful composers, but of course I associate the tune with Bud Powell, so I think it's Bud Powell.
That is absolutely correct. It was indeed Bud Powell who wrote the tune Tempus Fugit. Jason, you're up next. Jason, what trumpeter recorded under the pseudonym Little Brother? Would that have been A, Lee Morgan, B, Roy Eldridge, C, Hot Lips Page, D, Nat Adderley, or E, Shorty Baker?
I think the answer is D, Nat Adderley.
That is correct. Nat Adderley did indeed record under the pseudonym Little Brother. Brad, you're up next. The score is tied. Brad, the upcoming 2024 annual Mary Lou Williams Jazz Festival at the Kennedy Center will include which of the following artists in its lineup? A, Lakeisha Benjamin, B, Leon Elias, C, Terry Lynn Carrington, D, Nicole Mitchell, or E, Esperanza Spalding?
Great question. Not totally sure. I'm going to guess C, Terry Lynn Carrington.
That's incorrect. So Jason has an opportunity to steal the point. Jason, the upcoming 2024 annual Mary Lou Williams Jazz Festival at the Kennedy Center will include which of the following artists in its lineup? A, Lakeisha Benjamin, B, Elian Elias, C. Terry Lynn Carrington has been eliminated. D. Nicole Mitchell, or E. Esperanza Spalding?
A. Lakeisha Benjamin.
That is incorrect as well. The correct answer is B. Eliane Elias.
Got it.
All right. Pianist and singer from Brazil. So, Jason, it's your turn now.
Okay.
Annette Cohen
Mm-hmm.
topped the 71st annual Downbeat Magazine Critics Poll on the clarinet. Who finished second? Would that be A, Don Byron, B, Ken Poplawski, C, Eddie Daniels, D, Evan Christopher, or E, Paquito de Rivera?
I'm going to go with D, Evan Christopher.
Good guess, but not correct. Brad, your turn to try to steal this point. Annette Cohen topped the 71st annual Downbeat Magazine Critics Poll on the clarinet. Who finished second in that poll? Would that be A, Don Byron, B, Ken Poplawski, C, Eddie Daniels, and D, New Orleans' own Evan Christopher has been eliminated, E, Paquito de Rivera?
Let's hope for A, Don Byron.
Nope. I'm afraid the correct answer is E, Paquito de Rivera. Finished second on the clarinet in that Downbeat Magazine Critics Poll. Brad, you're up next. The score remains tied 2-2. Brad, Miles Davis once recorded a 10-inch LP for the Prestige label that entirely featured the compositions and arrangements of what saxophonist? Would that have been A, Al Cohn, B, Dexter Gordon, C, Zoot Sims, D, Stan Getz, or E, Sonny Rollins?
Let's try Sonny Rollins.
That's incorrect. Jason with an opportunity to steal the point. Jason, Miles Davis once recorded a 10-inch LP for the Prestige label that entirely featured the compositions and arrangements of what saxophonist? Would that be A, Al Cohn, B, Dexter Gordon, C, Zoot Sims, D, Stan Getz, and E, Sonny Rollins has been eliminated?
Can you tell me what year it was on?
Well, just thinking back, it was a 10-inch.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
it was.
Right. On that account, I would say B, Dexter Gordon.
That is incorrect as well. The saxophonist who Miles Davis recorded a 10-inch LP based on his compositions and arrangements was, in fact, A, Al Cohn.
Wow.
Yes. This week's Spotlight is on Savage Content's YouTube channel and is another exclusive performance by the jazz legends, Bob James and Howard Paul, recorded live at the MCG Jazz Club in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This performance is actually part of a playlist titled MCG Jazz, featuring other MCG performances. And for those not familiar, MCG is the Manchester Craftsmen's Guild, featuring other MCG performances by Freddie Cole, Karen Allison, the Conrad Pozdusky Trio, featuring Pasquale Grasso, and additional Bob James and Howard Paul songs, including Angela, the theme from Taxi. Visit youtube.com/@savagecontent and look for the MCG Jazz playlist. And be sure to click on the Jazzology playlist featuring past episodes and subscribe now. All right, Jason, our usual mid-show question. In this case, Jason, what's one of the more interesting places you've played in recent memory?
One of the more interesting places I've played in recent memory.
Yep.
I gotta say, I had the occasion to play the Roy Hargrove Memorial, having worked with him for 14 years. And I played his memorial at Jazz at Lincoln Center, and that was the first time a Roy Hargrove band had played at Jazz at Lincoln Center.
And so that was an auspicious occasion.
Huh?
That was an auspicious occasion.
Yeah, for unfortunate reasons, but yes.
All right. And Brad, what's the next live jazz performance you're most excited about attending?
Next week, I'm going to go see Herbie Hancock. And I'll also be at the Jazz Foundation of America gala event. So,
where's Herbie playing?
That's a great question. It's like maybe part of Lincoln Center, one of those rooms.
All right. Well, this week's Spotlight new jazz release is titled Wonderful, and it's by Hammond B3 organ player Mike LeDun, featuring his Groover Quartet plus a gospel choir. Jason, you're up next.
All right.
Jason, the late jazz trumpeter Doc Cheatham has a grandson who is currently active in jazz performance and recording.
Yep.
Who is that trumpeter? Is it A, Christian Scott Atunde Ajua, B, Jeremy Pelt, C, Marquise Hill, D, Theo Croker, or E, Terrell Stafford?
It's D, Theo Croker.
That is correct. Theo Croker is the grandson of the late, great Doc Cheatham. Brad, you're up next. Jason is up 4-2. Brad, the LP titled Esoteric by the great guitarist Charlie Christian was recorded at what club? Would that have been A, the Village Vanguard, B, Monroe's Uptown House, C, Cafe Society, D, the Royal Roost, or E, Minton's Playhouse?
Great question. I don't recall a recording at the Vanguard. I feel like that would have been very well known. I'm going to try the Royal Roost, D.
B, the Royal Roost? D, Royal
D.
Roost?
Yeah, D.
That is incorrect. Jason with an opportunity to steal the point. Jason, the LP titled Esoteric by the great guitarist Charlie Christian was recorded at what club? Would that have been A, the Village Vanguard, B, Monroe's Uptown House, C, Cafe Society, D, the Royal Roost has been eliminated, or E, Minton's Playhouse?
Let's say E, Minton's Playhouse.
That is correct. Charlie Christian did indeed record his album Esoteric at Minton's Playhouse, which is one of the noted laboratories of modern jazz. Jason,
Mm-hmm.
the pianist and composer Vijay Iyer
Mm-hmm.
is a faculty member at which institution? Would that be A, Princeton University, B, Stanford University, C, Yale University, D, Harvard University, or E, Oberlin College?
We could C, Yale University.
That is incorrect.
Okay.
Brad with an opportunity to steal a point. Brad, the pianist and composer Vijay Iyer is a faculty member at which institution? Would that be A, Princeton, B, Stanford, C, Yale, D, Harvard, or E, Oberlin College?
I believe Vijay teaches at Harvard. D.
That is correct. He does teach at Harvard. So Brad steals the point. And Brad is up next. Brad, who was the producer of the Just Jazz concert series? Was it A, George Wein, B, Jimmy Lyons, C, Norman Granz, D, Symphony Sid, or E, Dr. Billy Taylor? The producer of the Just Jazz concert series.
So this was a series, but not a festival?
It was a series.
Okay. I don't know. I'm gonna not say George Wein because I know he produced all those festivals, although maybe he produced this as well. Let's try Norman Granz. C.
That is correct. Norman Granz was indeed the producer of the Just Jazz concert series. We are tied at 5 points apiece. And it's Jason's turn. Jason, which of the following performing artists are on the faculty of Berklee's Institute of Jazz and Gender Justice that was founded by drummer Terry Lynn Carrington? Which of the following are on the faculty at that institution? Would that be A, Linda Mahon O, B, Chris Davis, C, Holly Elwell, D, Val Genti, or E, all of the above?
Let's say E, all of the above.
That is correct. That is correct. All of those women are faculty members at the Institute of Jazz and Gender Justice at Berklee, which was founded by Terry Lynn Carrington. And Jason is up 7-5. Brad has an opportunity to catch up with the bonus round. You ready, Brad?
Let's try.
All right, Brad. Record producer Michael Kuskuna was a jazz DJ and a jazz writer before taking a record producer position first at which of the following record labels? Would that have been A, Blue Note Records, B, Atlantic Records, C, Motown Records, D, ABC Records, or E, Arista Records?
Let's try Blue Note.
That is incorrect. And that means that Jason Marshall has toppled our current champion, Brad Farberman. And Jason Marshall is our champion of this episode of Jazzology. Congratulations to Jason Marshall on winning our 51st episode of Jazzology. We encourage each and every one of you to try your hand and play Jazzology. And if anyone watching would like to become a contestant on Jazzology, click the link below and simply fill out the form. You must be 18 years old or older, and be sure to follow us on social media at Jazzology Trivia Show to get all the latest news and updates. Thank you so much to Brad and Jason and to everyone who joined us for our 51st episode of Jazzology today. Remember, you can check out Jazzology every other Friday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you missed the show live, you can find the archive on the Savage Content YouTube channel. Thank you, gentlemen. And thank you, folks, for checking out another episode of Jazzology.